Your Majesty, and welcome back to another episode of the Royal Reset Podcast. Hello. How are you doing today, Your Majesty? You're looking gorgeous. Hair on top of your head, house clothes on, getting ready to do your chores, but you're still looking good. I see you, Your Majesty. I see you. I see you. Oh, thank you. You know, getting ready to go to church, Disneyland after this, film some content. So I had to step up the game. Let the people know who I am. Let them know who's in their vicinity. Hello, Your Majesty. How are you doing today? Tell me everything. How are you feeling? Tell me. Go. That's amazing to hear. That is amazing to hear. I am doing great. Have a little bit of like in my throat, kind of want to throw up. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But working through some fear, some anxiety right now. Um, but it's all good. It's like all good fear and all good anxiety. So like, you know, reaching my goals and my dreams. And if you see the title of today's episode, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. So, yes, let's jump into it. First and foremost, Your Majesty, tell me, how was your week? Last week, we spoke about some goals. We spoke about fear and reaching for your goals, even when you're scared and you're terrified. I gave you some tips on how to reach for your goals when you're scared and terrified, when you're deep in the middle of that fear, because again, fear is inevitable. It's a part of the process. We're all going to fear it. I mean, fear it. We're all going to feel it, especially when you have big goals, goals that have never been done before. If you're doing something out of the ordinary, out of the box, the fear is going to come, Your Majesty. So last week we spoke about how to keep going, even in the face of that fear, and how, eventually the more and more goals that we reach and the more dreams that we see and bring into fruition, the easier it'll become for us to recognize the fear, swallow it, and keep going. So tell me, Your Majesty, how was your week? Did you spend some time recognizing or figuring out how fear develops in your life and putting together an emergency plan for the next time it rears its ugly head in your life? Tell me everything, Your Majesty. Okay, okay, alrighty. That's what I love to hear. You kept going. You are doing the damn thing out here reaching for your goals and your dreams every single week. Look at you, Your Majesty. This is what, episode 18? Look at how far you've come in 18 weeks. I am so proud of you. Look at you, Your Majesty. Slay, okay? Slay. Um, we'll talk a little bit about fear for me this week. It's so crazy that every single time we have a conversation, God is like, test. So yeah, I'm definitely being tested on fear right now. And it's good. So we'll get into that and we'll discuss it. But I'm glad you took some time to figure out what that means for you and how you can attack it when it comes. So for me, my week was fabulous. Remember how I said I had a big, huge, or did I tell you that I had a big project that I had to do this week, last week. Well, that project ended up being smaller than I thought it was going to be. But I still get to sit in a VP office for the next week, maybe two. So I'm not even complaining about the project anymore. It was supposed to be a project that, let's just say, nobody else wanted to do it. And I said, I'll do it because I knew it would make me look good. And it is making me look good. So, and the perk is I get to be in a big old VP office with the door closed and locked majority of the time. Slay. Slay. So, yeah, last week was great. I got to read. Oh, we'll talk about what's entertaining me this week, but I got to read these two books that were juicy, Your Majesty. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Oh, and I'm so mad. I'll tell you in a minute, but I'm so mad that, yeah, so it was good. So yeah, I had a great, great week. Now, I did come to you last week and say that that was the week and that I was going to get back on my 75 hard game early, because as of today, I have 2 more days left in my 30-day break before phase 2 starts. I went the opposite direction, like the opposite direction. I was supposed to be here where I, ended my break early and got back on my game, worked out 2 days, 2 times a day, both 45 minutes a day. Went outside where I went back to drinking a gallon of water a day, where I went back to keeping my diet, which is my intermittent fasting, eating only between the hours of 8 and 4, reading 10 pages of a non-fiction self-help book. And then on top of that, praying, meditating, journaling, taking a 5-minute cold shower, and 10 minutes of visualization. I was supposed to start back this week, Your Majesty. And what I ended up doing is drinking a Mountain Dew, eating a bag of Doritos, and a whole bunch of pints of ice cream. As I said, I'm dealing with fear and anxiety right now. So, thank God this happened during my break, because I would have had to start 75 hard all the way over, Your Majesty. It has been a week. But I'm going to give myself grace because, again, I'm still within my break period. I still have 2 days left. So Monday, and then I believe I start back on Tuesday. What's today's date? Today is Friday was the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. I start back on Tuesday, the 19th. So yeah, phase 2 is 30 days. That starts on Tuesday. So I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'll be starting on Tuesday. I'll be ready. I'll be there. I'll get it done. And the thing that I'm in my bag, my fear bag, my anxiety bag about is tomorrow. So come Tuesday, I should have a better sense of what is going on moving forward, and I will not be triggered anymore, hopefully. Yeah. So that was my week. It was good. It was good. Mostly good. Some setbacks, but not really. Again, I'm giving myself grace. I'm still within my break period, 30-day break period. So just going to move forward and do better next week. But our conversation this week will kind of help me in moving forward, because we're going to jump really deeply into my why. So yes. But first, before we get to that, let's discuss what is entertaining me this week. The books are called Nash, and the second book that I read is called Axel. And the author, as soon as my Kindle Unlimited on this phone pops up, I'll tell you who the author is. But this was a mafia series. And what I loved so much about it is that we're making fun of men. Yes, we're turning mafia guys into golden retrievers who are obsessed with us. Yes, we love that. But then, like, other men who disrespect us are getting toe up by these female main characters. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the name of Kelly Finley is the author's name. And Kelly, girl, me and you gonna have to have a conversation, okay? It's my fault, really. It's my fault for starting this series when you're not done. I hate that so much for myself. Yeah, I like to read finished series so that I can just devour, and I can't even do that. Like, I want to keep going, especially with the way you left the second book. I would like to keep going and read books 3, 4, 5, and 6, maybe even 7 books you're gonna squeeze out of this series. But I can't do that because the third book doesn't come out till November. And the fourth book doesn't come out till April. Girl, I'm gonna need you to hurry up. Okay, you can't be writing these delicious characters with this bomb premise and this like huge mystery that I need to know if I'm right about how I'm guessing what the plot is. Like, I need to know. And then, like, I need more. Like, the way these female main characters have been tearing these men up with their words. Like, this one scene in, what was it, the first book? The guy was coming, trigger warning, because this is dark romance, by the way. Trigger warning. The guy was coming after her with malicious intent, right? And she's up there giving him SPH, just completely humiliating the guy. And like, that turns out to be his kink. And so he's loving it. And so she uses that against him to like knock him out with a golf club. Like, what? It's so entertaining. I love this so much, and I want to devour the entire series, but unfortunately I cannot because, again, third book doesn't drop Sire until November. And then I think the fourth book is going to be Jace's book, and that doesn't drop until April of next year. No, the fourth book is Locke's book, which drops April of next year. I really want to read Jace's book because I need to know what's going on with that poor baby, okay? And that's probably not going to drop until November of next year. God, I hate this. I hate this. Anyway, so I have like 200 books on my TBR. So, and I'm only 40 books into my 115 book goal, for the year. So, I'm just going to move on to a book called After Him, right? So, Nash was the first book of her series, and then Axel was the second book. This is another book by the same author. I'm hoping that the FMCs be tearing men up in this one too. So, yeah, After Him is what it's called. I'm gonna read that and try to move on with my life until November, I guess. Anyways, let's discuss this week's 4B Queen of the Week. This one is a little bit different from the other 4B Queens of the Week that we have named, like Megan Thee Stallion, Tiana Taylor, Cardi B, I think was one of them one week. This week, I want to give a shout out to teachers, especially my female teachers with body. Yes, so they are this week's 4B Queen of the Week because Every single year when school starts, there's 3 or 4 or 5 million pictures of women teachers, female teachers at school completely covered up. And the debate is always, is this appropriate for school? She's completely covered up. One, two, she's taking care of your nappy-headed children all day long. Like, leave her alone. What is she supposed to do? Leave that juicy booty at home? Leave them tickle bitties at home? Like, y'all gotta stop. We've got to stop having this debate every single year. It's getting old. It's getting tired. Really, truly. Nobody has an issue but you, and don't nobody care what your issue is. So let's just be real. Let's just be honest, because the pictures keep coming every single year. These are baddies, teachers who are still baddies, who love what they do, who are helping your children to succeed in life. So let's just drop it, okay? Let's just drop it. And yes, shout out to the teachers. Schools are coming back into session. Colleges are getting ready to start back up soon. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are doing the Lord's work. Trust and believe. So thank you, teachers, especially my female teachers, my queens. We appreciate you. We love you. You don't get paid enough for all that you have to go through. And to add somebody taking your photo without your consent and blasting it all over the internet on top of all of that is ridiculous. So thank you to all the Janines, the Miss Barbaras, the what is her name? I can't think of the other characters' names from Abbott Elementary, but thank you, and thank you. Alrighty, so let's talk about why we're here, right? Today's topic is about how I am finally stepping into my best Hannah Montana life. Girl, oh, I got the best of both worlds. Hey! Finally, Your Majesty, I have been working towards this goal since 2015. 10 whole years, 10 of them things, a whole decade. And we are finally here. So let me explain, right? So my goal and my purpose in life, as you know, is threefold: to entertain, to inspire, to end familial homelessness in America. That is why I was put on this earth, right? Okay. And so I am doing that, and I have been doing that, and my goal is to do that through the 4B Queendom, or 4B, which is the business slash brand that I created in 2018, right? 4B derives from the Bible verse, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right? So 413, put the 1 and the 3 together, you get the B, right? 4B. Okay. So the reason why I wear the crown every day, the tagline is step into the queen you're meant to be. I'm using my story of how I grew up homeless and overcame that to inspire you to reach past your struggles for your goals and your dreams, right? And so we do that on TikTok, we do that on Instagram, YouTube, we do that with our weekly conversations with this podcast. We do that in many ways, and there's so many more ways that I want to do that, right? However, while I am building the queendom, it's come a long way since 2018. Don't get me wrong. Chile, it's come a long way. However, there's still a ways to go. My dreams are big. They are huge. They are ginormous dreams, right? And in the meantime, I still need to pay my bills. I still need to live my best life while I'm out here working towards that goal, right? So secondarily, I am an administrative assistant slash executive assistant, and it works out perfectly because one, I'm not a starving artist. Okay. Admins get paid, right? Two, it's lazy girl work. I'm at work for 40 hours a week, but I'm only actually have work. If you do administrative slash executive assistant good and you do it well, you set up systems, you put systems in place to where you're only working, actually having work to do for 15 to 20 hours of that 40-hour week, right? Yes. And then again, there's always work for administrative executive assistants. There's always, always, always work for those people. So I started that in college. And my goal after college was to work as an executive assistant in one capacity as I built 4B up and from the ground up, and keep working until 4B, like until work really but pretty much gets in the way of 4B and I just need to leave work and go about my 4B life, right? That has been my goal, to be Hannah Montana, living this life where you think I'm doing nothing with my life at work. All my coworkers think I'm doing nothing with my life, but going to work and then going to Disneyland on Sundays. That's all they think I do. They think I read, they think I go to work and I help them with all their problems, and then I go to Disneyland on Sunday. That's it. That's who they think I am. But in reality, I just got a TikTok check. Yeah, yeah, I'm out here with a podcast. Okay, I'm out here with a potty. I'm out here doing my thug thizzle for shizzle my nizzle on TikTok, Instagram, and the tubes of you. Like, I'm getting it done, right? And don't let me start getting back into my blog and my vlog game. Oh, oh, right? So I'm finally here, but it's taken so long to get here. Why, Your Majesty? Let's talk. Last week we talked about fear. Let's talk about another emotion that is a great motivator and is basically my why, my biggest why, my deepest why, was keeping me going right now. And that is anger. Anger. Yeah. So let's talk about it, right, Your Majesty? Let's talk about it. You know I'm doing 75 hard, right? Again, let's discuss the 5 things you have to do for 75 hard. 75 hard is 75 days. You have to do 5 things, right? And if you do not do one of those things by the end of the day, you have to start back over from the beginning, right? And start back at 1, right? Okay, 75 hard, 5 things. Work out twice a day for 45 minutes each. One workout must be outside. Drink a gallon of water. Choose a diet, any diet. Stick to that diet. No cheat meals, no alcohol. Read 10 pages of a nonfiction self-help book. Take a progress photo every single day. That was 75 hard, right? Everybody at work knows that I'm doing 75 hard, and I did that on purpose so that people would be asking me questions about it all throughout the journey, so that I it would prevent me, if in my weak moments it would be something in the back of my head like, damn, Jasmine, if I give up now, all these fools is gonna be at work talking about what happened with 75 hard? What happened with 75 hard? And then I'm gonna have to be like, well, I fucked up. Gotta go back to the beginning. You know? So I purposely spread it around the office, everywhere, the campus really, because we got a big ass campus, that, I'm doing 75 hard. And always people would say, I could never do that. I could never do that. You're better than me. You're better than me. No, sweetie. I am not better than you. Trust and believe you can do it too if you are as angry and pissed off as I am. Right? If you were at your wits' end like I am, you could do it too. And you will do it. And this is what I kept telling people. And this is what I want to tell you today. Sometimes we have goals, we have dreams, but we just, for some reason, we cannot push ourselves hard enough to go after them, to do the things that we know we need to do in order to see the best life that we deserve, to see our goals, to see our dreams. Sometimes we dream and we wish and we manifest for years before we actually put action behind that. And there is a reason for that. You are not ready yet. You're not ready yet. And that is okay. Sometimes you have to be pushed to your limit. You have to be pushed beyond your limit. Sometimes you have to reach rock bottom, to hit rock bottom, and realize there's nowhere else for you to go except for up. Sometimes you have to get angry, so angry with yourself, with the situation that you're in, to where you are like, I deserve better. And then you use that anger to finally put in the work and go after what it is you want. Let me describe it this way. A wife, everybody knows in her family, in her friends, in her circle, knows she should leave that man. She knows she should leave that man. He is not treating her like a queen. She absolutely is. But she stays for the children, for this, for that. She makes up these excuses and she stays until one day she wakes up and she's like, I'm done. When you reach that moment, you feel it down in your spirit. You feel it down in your toes. Okay? You feel it down in the follicles of your scalp. You hear me, Your Majesty? When you reach your limit, it's a wrap. It's done. It's done for. And sometimes we are so stubborn. We are so lost in these lives that we hate, that is the only way that we can pull ourselves out. And so anger or deep, deep sadness. Let me tell you what happened with me last year. I think I told you about this in an earlier episode. Last year, July 2nd, 30-day notice. Got to get out in 30 days. What? Emailed to me, not posted. And when I said, actually, this is the law, this is what you have to do, this is like legally the steps you are supposed to take, I was told, I'm not doing all that. This is just the way it is. You need to accept it. Excuse me? What? After I've been paying you 2 weeks early, I pay all my bills 2 weeks early. So on the first of the month is just another day for me. I just be chilling. Everybody else is struggling. No, 2 weeks ago I paid that shit. I'm done. I'm already done. Right? 2 weeks early for 3 years. Oh, and this is how you want it. Oh, okay. Okay. But before I got to that point, to that anger point, I was just like devastated. Devastated. A deep rooted devastation. And this came after what, 2 months after losing my job of 3 years, a job that I knew was horrible. Let me tell y'all about DMC Engineering, right? I can tell you the name of the company because I'm no longer there. 15 people, very small, run by a guy who I was only supposed to be a temp, right? 3 days in, he hired me on. And as we were signing the paperwork, this man looked at me and said, I just want you to know that I didn't vote for Biden. That should have been red flag number one. Red flag number two was the crybaby, David Gins. The fits, the tantrums this man would have towards the people of color in the office that were always just ignored and swept under the rug because he was good at his job. I could go on with the stories, but it got to the point where towards the end, I was literally cursing that CEO out every single day. Because what do you mean you're just going to allow him to speak to these workers? Some of these people, 65, 70 years old, any way he wants to, just because he knows how to put together some plans and crunch some numbers. Like, are you serious? This is ridiculous. But I didn't leave. Again, I just told you there are admin jobs all over this place. I didn't leave. I stayed until finally, he let me go with a fat ass severance check, right? Okay. 2 months later, 30-day notice out of the blue. No reason given. I sue her. She tries to evict me. I win both cases, as we spoke about already. I won both cases. But during the trials, again, she's sitting there giving me the ugliest stares, as if I did something wrong, as if I'm the problem. And I'm just feeling more and more like every single day. This dragged on for 7, 8, 9 months, right? Before I won the small claims in like 4 months. And then the eviction I won in 6 months. So this is like a 6-month situation. The law is on my side, but I'm feeling like I'm the problem. I'm feeling like complete and utter shit. And it was one day in court where I'm looking over at her as she's speaking with such vitriol and evilness that I'm like, I'm done. I will never allow someone to treat me this way or make me feel this way ever again. I am done. I am done. Right? And so what did I do differently? Because you can't just say you're done and just be done. Like, no, you've got to make some changes, right? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So I'm looking through my life and my decisions. I'm cataloging everything. I'm, stepping into the past, and I'm trying to figure out, where did I go wrong? What, looking at, I paid her again 2 weeks before the first every single month. Okay, so that was good. Where did I go wrong? Where I did my job at DMC Engineering. I was a damn good executive assistant there. So where did I go wrong? And I realized in both of these situations, I didn't go wrong. These were literally situations where the only thing that I did wrong was I did not leave these situations. I knew going into these situations, as soon as he said, I didn't vote for Biden, right? And her lease was jacked. The lease that she wrote was jacked. And I knew from the beginning, I shouldn't have gone. I shouldn't have signed that, right? From the beginning, I knew I shouldn't have did these things, but I did them because it was the most amount of money that I've ever made, and the house was bomb. And so this is where I prayed. I spoke to God, and I meditated, and I journaled, and I prayed some more, and I looked more into my past and found the pattern. Found the pattern. And the pattern is I grew up homeless, right? And with growing up homeless, there's so many more trauma issues that go along with that. But when we're discussing this situation and the issue that I found here, it was that the people who were supposed to have control my entire life, who were supposed to love me and take care of me and keep me safe, failed. They did not. And so, in turn, now as an adult, I feel like I need to be the one that's constantly in control. Because no one else, if I'm not doing it, if I'm not taking care of it, if it's not getting done my way, then it's not getting done the correct way, right? And I realized that me being in control ain't working. It's just not working. It's not working because I'm putting my life and my well-being and my welfare in the hands of these CEOs that don't give a shit, in the hands of these landlords that don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about you. It's business. It's business. They're running businesses. It's just business. Point blank, period, right? And so I decided what I was going to do different. And this is for me. It could be different for you, but I hope that you hear my story and maybe it helps you make some decisions in your life. But I decided to give up control. And at the time, there was this one song that I heard in church. At the time I was going to church, I started going to church every single Sunday, which is not something that I used to do. Before, I would go to church maybe once a month. I'll go for 4 weeks back to back and then just stop and come back 6 months later. I've been going to the same church since 2016. The day that I went to that church, I got baptized at that church, right? It feels like home. It's non-denominational. I can dress however I want, come however I want. Their slogan is, "This is for everyone," right? Feels so much at home right there. And so once all of this mess started last year, I started going to church every single week. And I heard this song, and it was called Great Foundation. And pretty much the premise of it was, even when ish around me is going crazy, even when everything seems to be going wrong, I still have peace. Because my foundation isn't rooted in X, Y, and Z. It's just rooted in God, right? And so that's the major change that I made. I placed my life, I surrendered. Finally, a goal that I knew that I should have been doing years ago, I surrendered completely. Was like, here, big dog. Me and God are homies, okay? That's my ace spoon coon. That's my nigga, okay? So me and God we are here. We are here. We are here. So I was like, here you go, big dog. That's my life. Take care of that for me. because me trying to be in control just literally is not working. It's not working. And so now my foundation is in him, right? Now I depend on him, right? Now he is the one calling the shots. And that doesn't mean I no longer have free will, because he's not a tyrant, right? He's a homie. He's like a best friend who wants the best for you and gives you everything you ask for. And all he asks is that you say thank you and that you spend some time with him every damn day. That's it. That's really it. Like, people be making religion and spirituality out to be something that it's not. It's really simple. You just hang out with your homie every single day, recognize who he is, the being he is, and say thank you, and do your best to follow his commandments. But even not, he gives you grace. Even if you can't, he gives you grace. You are Gucci. Like, that's really what it is, right? So I put my life in God's hands, and then boom, got a better job. Boom, live in a better home. Boom. This job was a temp position, contracted for a year. 4 months in, they're already asking me to be hired on. Boom. Great. Gorgeous. Different type of situation. It's a huge company, like global. So it's not like DMC Engineering, where 3 days in, he was like, I'll buy out your contract. He bought out my contract and then hired me on. No, this situation was I had to reapply, re-interview, and go through the whole process again, right? So I reapplied, did a phone interview. That was whack, because he was like, you already work there. We already love you. I don't have no questions for you. Cool. Went through a day of 5 interviews, which I told y'all last week I did that Thursday. 3 of those interviews were not real interviews, because again, they were like, why are we doing this? We want you. Hopefully this is just a formality, which it was. And so come Friday, I was given my soft offer, which means that they are offering me the position, right? Great. Let me tell you the difference between this position and DMC Engineering. This position, I go to work and I'm happy to be at work. As soon as I step through the doors, I'm smiling and cheesing. I'm happy to be there. I am at the top of my game. It feels like every single executive assistant, administrative assistant position that I've had has all led me to here. Because whenever an issue arises, I'm like, oh, well, this is what I did at Kaiser Permanente. Boom, this is what I'll do here. Take care of it. This is what I did, boom, at Ethica. Boom, take care of it. This is what I did at DNC Engineering. Use that. Take care of it. I've been slaying. I have been slaying, okay? And they love me. Love me. Like, I was in one of my interviews and he was like, the first week you came in and you completely cleaned out all the cabinets and rearranged all of the supplies. And I was just like in shock and awe. And I'm up here like, as an admin, that's admin 101. That's what you're supposed to do when you come in. You see what's there, you organize it, you put your system in place. What are you talking about, sir? That's admin 101. Baffled. He's baffled. I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever. But again, it's easy. That's what it is. And because it's not something that I chose for myself. When I got the offer, I was like, the original offer as a contractor, I was like, I guess. I feel differently now. But still, at the time, I was just like, I guess. Turns out to be the best job I ever had. Best job I've ever had, hands down. And then remember, I told you all the this crazy I went through at DMC Engineering. This place has something called ERGs, which are pretty much clubs for um, the different, what do you call them? Why am I drawing a blank? They have a BSU, but it's called like the Black Business Association. There's an Asian, Hispanic, Asian, or not Hispanic, Asian Pacific Islander group. There's an LGBTQ group. There's a women's group. Like they have these different organizations that run events on campus every single month celebrating diversity and inclusion, even though it's technically outlawed right now. And they're still full force ahead. There are LGBTQ flags on cubicles proudly being hung. Like, yes, yes. And some of them aren't even in the community, they're just allies like me. And I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. Celebrating that we all come from different places. There are I support 10 teams. Half of them are run by women. I can go to work and in one day hear Farsi, hear Chinese, hear Japanese, hear Korean, hear Swahili. Like there's people from all different cultures, all different countries, all different backgrounds working together and everybody's nice. Everybody works together. Like it's weird. It's I don't. It seems unreal. It really does. It seems unreal. And then another thing uh I encountered as an admin in the past is people who think like I used to call him the crybaby at DMC Engineering, who would throw the temper tantrums. He would always say, I'm a engineer. You're just the admin. People who would look down on the admins, even though if it weren't for the executive admin, like we basically run the company. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest, right? CEOs, executives, directors don't know when to wipe their behind unless we tell them to. They don't know when to go to a meeting until we tell them to. Some of them are going to back meetings and we got to remind them to eat. They're alive because of us. But anyways, I digress. I don't get that there. I am treated and like revered as an admin. They say thank you. They say thank you. When I come in the morning, they say hello. Not, can you do this X, Y, Z, A, and B? It's just so completely different. House, peaceful. New home, peaceful, quiet. I have not been at this in such peace in years. Again, I didn't choose it. He did, right? And so now I'm here. My anger and frustration has gotten me here. I decided to finally let go. And now I'm looking at all these goals and dreams that I have had that have been the same since 2012. And I'm like, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a shift. And that's why I started 75 Hard. That is why I decided to get back to creating content. That is why I finally, you know how long I've wanted to do this podcast? how long I wanted to sit down with you every week and have these discussions? Years. Years. And I finally did it. Why? Because of anger. Because I finally found that moment where I finally hit that point where I just had enough was enough. And so if you are reaching for a goal, let's say, I don't know, your goal was to lose weight this year, and you started off the year strong, and then somewhere, some way you fell off. It's okay. You're not ready yet. You haven't hit that breaking point yet. And that's completely fine. That is okay. Do not beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace. You are not ready yet. And that is okay. One of my dreams, one of my goals is to write a book about my life and how I grew up homeless and overcame that, right? I have written and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten this gosh damn book over and over again. Since 2014, I have submitted the idea to contests and everything. And I still don't have it. And one of my mentors who I talked to about this project is always saying, you're not ready yet. And it's okay. You're not ready. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean I'm not ready? I understand it now. Because going through 75 Hard, reading Think and Grow Rich, reading Psycho-Cybernetics, reading A Happy Pocket Full of Money, I'm realizing that there are actually names for the things that I have been doing my whole life just by myself, just doing that has catapulted me to where I am today. There are names for this. These are actually tools that other people have been using that put a name to in order to reach their goals and their success. And now I'm realizing that, yeah, I wasn't ready because I needed to have this moment. I needed to do 75 Hard in order to reach this moment of clarity. And so now I'm prepared to start getting my story down on paper, right? Sometimes you just have to reach a breaking point. And it sucks. Don't get me wrong, it sucks that that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes a bad hospital visit, or someone with an addiction, or someone in a domestic violence situation to make the decision to get sober or to get out. Sometimes it takes going to jail, getting arrested, and doing hardcore time for someone to turn their lives around. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom, and that's okay. Because it's my belief that we are put on this earth and we are given the lives that we are given so that we can use our gifts to help and change people. And our stories are a part of our gifts. And letting other people know who are going through similar situations, who are going through trauma, who are going through addiction, abuse, who are struggling with overcoming their childhood trauma, and so they're doing things that they know they shouldn't be doing. Sometimes it takes someone who's been through it, who's hit rock bottom, to tell you this is where you're going to go if you don't stop, if you don't reach for your goals now, if you don't make some changes now, you know? And so that's where I am. I'm living my best Hannah Montana life. So this is what I'm anxious about. As I said, I got the soft offer, and on Monday, I have a call to negotiate the details. I don't like negotiating. I'm worth what I'm worth. Give me what I'm worth. If you don't give me what I'm worth, I'm going to walk. Is usually my tea. But as someone with goals as big as mine, where negotiating is going to be a part of my daily life, it's about time that I learn. And so I was prepared to have this negotiation through email. But as I said, we're hopping on a call on Monday. So I've got to stick up for myself, be confident in my skills and what value I bring to the company, practically in person, in real time. And I've never done that before. And it's got me real anxious. It's got me wanting to, but it's okay. I'm going to be okay. Again, I've been manifesting, I've been visualizing what the offer is going to be for ever since these conversations started. So I know the offer I'm going to get tomorrow. And so really me negotiating is just going to be so that so I don't look easy, because they're going to give me what I want off the bat. That's what I've already decided, right? That's what I've already decided. They're going to give me what I want. They're going to offer me what I want. And so I'm just going to be like, and an additional 10,000 on top of that. I'm nervous because it's something that I've never done before. But again, I've seen it. Psycho-cybernetics, I've seen it. I've visualized it over and over and over again for the last 2 months. I've seen it. I've told God and the universe what I want, how I would like to proceed in this situation. And so now I just have to trust that is going to happen. And if it doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, the way I want it to, trust that that is okay too, because that's in the end a part of his plan. And I'm not in control here. And that's such a relief, brings me so much peace. And I'm okay with that. Because again, I'm Hannah Montana. Okay? I just got a check from TikTok. I'm getting another check next month. And soon we'll be getting YouTube checks too. So it's okay. Because either way, I'm still going to end up making exactly what I want to make. Ooh, clock that T. Right? That is what I wanted to discuss with you today. That if you're not there yet, it's okay. This Hannah Montana life, I wanted to live where I'm building a business while working a 9 to 5 at the same time. I've wanted this since 2015, and I'm finally here in 2025, almost towards the end of 2025. It happens when it happens. And just because you see someone else living their best life doesn't mean you can't live your best life too. I get so tired of people at work. So now the question is, oh my gosh, so now that you're done with 75 hard, what's next? I'm not done, ma'am, sir. There's still 4 phases after 75 hard once you complete it. I completed phase 1. I'm in my 30-day break right now. And then on Tuesday, phase 2 starts. I'm not done. I'm still doing those 5 things. And on top of those 5 things, meditating, journaling, and praying, and then taking 5-minute cold showers every day. Yeah. And 10 minutes of visualization every day. Didn't I just tell you that I've been visualizing the offer that I'm going to get? That's what I've been spending my 10 minutes of visualization doing every day. Like, I'm not done. And the goal is not to be done. The goal is to take these habits and make them a part of my life. The goal is not to lose weight and then just go back to old life. No, the goal is to change the life. So when I went into 75 hard, My why was I deserve to see what my life looks like on the other side of my goals. My goals have been the same since 2012. I deserve to see what my life looks like when those goals have been reached, when my dreams have come into fruition. I deserve to see that shit. Deserve it. God damn it. So I'm going to. And it starts with all these habits that sometimes suck, but my life has never been as great. My life has never been as great. Again, the contract was for a year. They approached me after 4 months. Like, life has never been so grand. And now it's incorporated into my content. So if you watch my content every day, you too are meditating in the Breathe With Me videos. You too are saying your affirmations every single day with the Crown Fit for a Queen videos that are popping off right now. You too are practicing gratitude and the practice gratitude videos. You too are taking a moment to spend time right here, right now in the present, and the spend time in the present with me videos. Like, you too are doing these things because subconsciously, I'm low key training you. I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm training you to build these habits too, because I know that they are improving my quality of life. And I want that for you too, Queen. I want that for you too. So that's today's discussion. I hope you found something in it. We're out here living the best of both worlds. Yeah, I take a show and then we rock out. I never watched the show, to be honest. To be quite literally honest with you, I was a That's So Raven, Cheetah Girls, Lizzie McGuire. That's my era right there. Hannah Montana was after me, but premise still stays the same. The fact of the matter is still that I'm out here living the best of both worlds, and I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to come up to y'all next week and let y'all know, hey, it went exactly as I envisioned it. It went exactly as I envisioned it. So speaking of next week, there's not really homework from this conversation today. It was just a moment to motivate you and inspire you. If you are someone who had a New Year's Eve resolution or a goal going into this year and you've kind of fell off, it's okay. Give yourself grace, do what you can, and also enjoy. Because do you know how much I miss Mountain Dew? During this break, I've been allowing myself to have some, but like in 2 days, I'm gonna be cut off from Mountain Dew because I don't drink alcohol. So what I've done, instead of like the no alcohol rule, I've just said no soda rule. I've substituted it for no soda, and oh, it's hard. I'm gonna have to have some today because in 2 days I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. So enjoy right now. If you're not at that point, if you're not at that moment, enjoy the what's the best way to say this? Because if you're enjoy the highs. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Enjoy the highs right now and do what you can um, until you reach that point. And then once you reach that point, Your Majesty, you will feel it down to your toes and everything will change. You will be a new person. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Your time is coming. It's not yet, but it's okay. Enjoy, do what you can. And when it comes, eat it up. So, Your Majesty, no goals, no homework, I should say, for this week. Just keep working on the habits that we've talked about and we've created. Um, Refine your emergency plan whenever fear comes in. I'm listening to my power playlist to deal with my fear and anxiety now. Before I hop on the call tomorrow at 12:30, I'm going to go through my power playlist to help hype myself up and get myself ready to talk about myself and big myself up and talk about my value. Um, are we still putting the wrong shoe on every day, starting with the different foot and affirming ourselves? Yes, and telling ourselves we're going to have a good day, trying to think more positive than negative. Yes, all these things. Keep doing all these things, Your Majesty. Speaking our affirmations, journaling, meditating. Let's keep doing these things. Let's keep these habits going because we know that when we do them, we feel better. Our quality of life improves, right? Yes. So that's your homework. Just keep being you. Keep slaying, right? However, I know you have your own goals, Your Majesty. You're out here slaying, styling and profiling, doing the thug thizzle for shizzle, my nizzle, looking good while you're doing it too. Fly as all get out. Tell me, Your Majesty, what are your goals for next week? Lay it on me. Yes. Okay. Okay. I see you. I see you. I cannot wait to talk to you next week and hear exactly how you conquered each and every single one of those goals. Yes. Me. I need to read at least 3 books next week. Of course, negotiations. I want them to go my way. I want the number that I want and better. So that as well. And I now have no choice but to get back to my 75 hard grind because Tuesday is when phase 2 starts. So when I come to this sit down with you next week on Sunday, it should be day 6 of phase 2. So let's go. Let's get it. I'm pumped. I'm ready. Let's slay, Your Majesty. Yes. Yes. I'm so excited. Thank you again for spending some time with me, propping me up in your laundry room, in your kitchen, while you meal prep, while you do your laundry, and allowing me into your home to inspire and motivate you for your week ahead. And I hope to see you again next week, same time, same place. Sunday. Yes, 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 Your Majesty. And so, again, I believe in you. I see you. I see the queen in you. Always remember you are magnificent. You are powerful and you are purposeful. Yes, yes, Your Majesty. I'll see you next week, okay? Alrighty, bye.